guest on the Danny Kadota Show again?
Hey, look at that.
I mean, what's that all about, man?
Hey, listen, and I'm going to pick your brain.
Yeah.
And as I walked in, I was telling you we're going to be here this weekend, you
Yeah.
know, do the lobsters, and you just got off the boat with limits.
I can tell you all about it, man.
Oh, my God. I was excited. I was more excited over all the food that's coming on, you know. And I got to make a big pot of fried rice, the old Mustang fried rice.
Yeah, right.
Everybody else is bringing stuff, and that's just it's a blast. So, you know, this time of year, that's another thing that people often forget about, but it's a blast. We did it last year. You know, we did it on a small boat last year, but this is the way to go.
Yes.
Go with 20 guys, have fun. You don't have to pull them. You got the nice little winches.
Yes.
Yes, I can remember doing them by hand. Forget that. This is way better.
Welcome to the Danny Kadota Show. That's Captain Danny Kadota. I'm Phil Frieman. We're here at our home base of 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. Danny's talking about lobster trips. I did one last night on the Amigo. He's doing one on the 20th coming up.
On the Amigo.
And man, I'm telling you, what a blast.
Oh.
Now, I don't know. It doesn't sound like, when I first had it pitched to me, it didn't sound like a blast, but man, it's a freaking fun time.
Well,
it really is.
With those old guys?
Yeah.
We're going to be eating. You know, I'm making my fried rice. I mean, everybody's bringing spam mousse. It's going to be an eat-a-thon, basically.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, having them pull it on the, what were they using, the cat head, or did they have a puller?
They got a puller, and they mount it up there in the bow. Awesome. And then they do everything. They bait the things. They, you know, maybe you'll take the bucket and go back to the kill box and dump them in. That's about it.
We've done it before in a small boat. That's a pain.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, man.
This is the only way to go.
100%.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, you know, those things are at least $50 a pound now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So every 2 pound, let's say, you know, I mean,
every bug is $100.
We had some 5 pound bugs, several of them.
Oh.
Every bug's $100.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would say. You got $700 worth of lobster if you get a limit.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, and it's coming perfect just before Christmas.
Yeah.
So I can split them in half, barbecue them or whatever, and add it to whatever seafood stuff has traditional for Italians to do, you know, like a seafood dinner. So just supplement that, and that'd be absolutely perfect. But you know, going out there.
Yeah.
Get the cast the line a little bit, you know.
Yeah, heck yeah, you get to do some fishing.
I came down a little early to go see Tony. I said, I was going to buy the lobster deal now, but Tony said, I'll just get it that night.
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay.
Takes them like 2 seconds.
So that's a neat deal.
Hey, you know what I forgot?
What's that?
I can't see any questions people are asking us because I don't have my computer. That's what happens.
So we'll just keep blabbing as we're going. Then fill it in. Okay.
Sleep deprivation, man.
Yeah. That lobster fishing.
It'll take me a little while to get this going, but I'll get it. No, but that was so much fun last night. And with Jason and Mark on deck.
Oh, my
Mark
God.
running the boat. And Trevor, who runs the Freedom.
Yeah.
He was out there with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, my God.
That's
it was
awesome.
just...
That's just another thing that we kind of neglect. It's kind of a fun thing to do, you know, during the wintertime. And, you know, it's just a matter of getting your card and everything. And, that's the thing. Oh, Tony's going to get it. So, yeah, you can get all that stuff down here, folks.
Yeah, you can get it. You hand Tony your driver's license, and he has your lobster report card.
Tony says, we'll get it next week.
You know, that's the other thing. Jason, who's in the galley, he's nuts about lobster fishing.
Yeah.
So he takes your lobster. You give him your lobster card. He puts it, and then at the end of the night, he hands it back to you, and it's all filled out. He's done all that. You know, where and everything else, Michael and Mo.
Hey!
What is that, Danny?
That? What do you got?
Sugar bass? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it, Danny? Show Danny. It's like some kind of a sugar bass or something.
Yep.
Nice. Are they biting down there, kid?
Almost like a hybrid.
Yeah, you having fun? Yeah. All right, Michael, good job.
Keep getting them, bud.
Keep bringing them up. We love it. Michael Limon down here putting the wood to the fish, man.
Already.
I'm telling you. Good stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was just one big party last night. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, you know, for us, it's going to be eat-a-thon.
Yeah.
We're going to go out there and just chow. But we're bringing some rods. We're going to fish, see if we, you know, do the calicos or whatever it might be like the old days. But yeah, I mean, there's no pressure. Yeah, it's...
None.
I like that.
Me too. Yeah. And, you know, you get like 30 pulls. They drop 10 nets 3 different times. You do 3 sets. So, man, if you get 2 every net, you got 60 bugs by the end of the whole thing, man.
Unbelievable.
And that's, you know, if you we had 6 guys, we had 42 big lobster by the end of the night. It was just
man,
fantastic,
that's awesome.
man.
That's awesome.
So much fun,
That's
know.
cool.
And Mark and Jason going at it all night long, and in a friendly, fun way. It was so funny, man.
That's the entertainment right there, huh?
Oh my God, the entertainment last night was beyond
Oh, my God.
belief. I'm telling you right now. Let's see. Sam de la Torre, not sure if you already mentioned it, but were you guys fishing Catalina? I think he's talking to me. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, he's got to be talking to you. I haven't been out, so
Yeah.
that's next week for me, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Danny's going to go on the 20th. We're going to be on the Island Spirit up there out of Ventura. Sportfishing. You can still join us, by the way, 805-676-3474 if you'd like to join us. Danny, I'm sure you're on a private charter, right?
Well, like they got the list. Junior, one of my old crew members.
Yeah.
I don't know if Darren Scott Manson's going to be
Darren
on
Dohe
it.
was here earlier today.
Oh, you're
He
kidding.
couldn't stay. I begged him because I wanted to be on your show.
Oh,
but
my
He had
God.
to get back to his place. He
Yeah,
had something going on.
I was talking to him today on text.
He's great, man.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
my God.
We sat
he and Viv had a phenomenal trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did.
Oh,
We talked all about it. We did a little
How
quick
cool
little-
is that?
Man, that's
You know,
great. His
you
wife
can't beat
and
that.
him.
Can't beat that.
He's
yeah.
such a spectacular human
I
being.
hope you were a little easy on him, Viv. Just, some of us guys get a little touchy when we get our butts beat by the ladies, but
Let me tell you, man, and he was talking
No, that's
highly
pretty fun.
about Sam de la Torre. Sam's head was getting
Awesome.
way too big.
That's okay.
Tony Gonzalez, do you want to come in and make your guest appearance?
No.
Why not? Come on in.
Okay.
Now, if you're going
Come
to
on,
come
Tony.
in, I'm going to hold the camera so we can actually see you,
Oh,
though.
I don't want to
Oh,
be seen.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Where
we
you
gotta
going,
see
man? I'm going to have to, hey, let's let Tony talk for a second with Danny.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be seeing him this next week.
man, so we can actually hear
I'm gonna be
you.
in here a minute.
That's all right. I can take a break. I'll get this out of your
Boy, no,
hair.
but you could certainly pump those lobster chips, though, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
killing
something really neat that the Amigo has been doing, and
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's 10 guys, 10
Yep.
of your best
Yep.
friends. You get out there.
I think
and-
we're going with more. We got a real zoo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Of course, they're goofballs. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
perfect.
they're only
We're all
allowed
goofy.
10 nets on the boat.
Right,
So that's
okay,
that's what
yeah,
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Amigo's doing that. The Pride's still running. They're still out there getting
That's
their
awesome.
fish.
No, it's going to be fun. I like that. Every now
Yeah,
and then.
the counts have been really great on the lobster.
You can't beat that.
Yeah,
And that's the right time of year, Christmas
and
dinner.
have fun. Just something different to do.
Yeah, split one up, throw them on the barbecue with all the
Oh,
other
man.
seafood,
Yeah,
I'm married to
right?
an Italian, so that's part of it,
Yeah, so we got a new boat here, right, guys?
Let's hear about it.
Well, Sean has brought his Ghost here. And Sean used to be the owner of the Pride. Now he has the Ghost. So it's a little 6-pack boat, and we've got some trips posted up. He's getting a lot of charters. I'd like to send some interest his way if anybody
cool.
wants to get out there. As you, it's 5 of your best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Awesome,
and again, we're
awesome.
just running. There's still a
Little
lot of fishing.
six-pack, that's cool.
Yeah.
This time of year, yeah.
The Pride's going out. We got the
He had 11 halibut on his last trip, right?
the halibut are happening. So yeah, the native son. In fact, he's probably going to be doing a halibut derby here pretty quickly. I would imagine he did it last year and it was really, really good. And of course, the Monte Carlo kids are out of school. Kid goes free with a paid adult.
How do you beat that?
Yeah, how do you beat that?
Merry
let's get that
Christmas.
going. And the fishing's been really good. Once we get the boats out, it's been really good.
Oh, that's
rockfish, halibut, whitefish.
Yeah,
Everything you
cool.
catch this time
Went
of
into
year.
our winter
I
mode.
heard
That's cool.
Aaron saying the other day, the captain to the native son, that he'd rather fish this time of year than any time.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's just so nice out
Oh,
there.
that's so cool.
Yeah. So,
We'll take
so
it.
you got a group of guys coming out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're gonna have a lot of extra
we're gonna have a
lobster. You're
zoo.
gonna bring me a few, right?
And also, I'm going to be making a big pot of fried rice, so make sure you come down.
I will be
Get a
here.
bowl
I will
before
be
you take
here.
before
Right
we
on.
take off. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
You guys take off at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat
Yeah.
setup from
Yeah, it is.
noon until midnight.
Yeah.
So you're
I
not
like
killing
that.
an overnight. Yeah, you
Exactly.
come home. And, yeah, you got
Exactly.
Yeah, really.
Get to
nice.
make a couple of casts.
Yeah, you get to fish too.
Yeah.
You get to fish too. Yeah,
That's going to be kind of fun.
yeah, really good, really fun. Anyways, guys,
All right, Tony.
I gotta get
awesome
back way in
seeing
there.
you, bud,
Thank you
but
for
I'll
letting
see
me
you
throw
down
my
later
little
in the
pitch in
week.
there.
Yeah.
That's it?
Well, you know.
Yeah, they're cracking the whip on them,
There's only me and Jerry over there. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I
man.
will see you. I'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, I
bud.
want that back. I just want to put my hand
Well,
on
that's
your
a good
shirt.
thing you're taking away because as soon as I walk out of here, I'm going to say something bad about Phil.
Really? I'm used to it.
All right, Tony. We'll
Thank
see
you, Tony.
See you, bud.
All right, there you go. And the boat, the Ghost is right down here, so looks pretty big for a 6-pack.
Wow.
I haven't really checked it out, but it looked really
Fun
nice.
stuff.
So.
I pulled those things by hand in a small boat, and it's work.
Oh my
It's work.
God, doing
It's
the
work.
lobster thing?
Yeah, come on, sitting in the galley, drinking coffee, eating.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
And the
that's where
boys
it's
are
at.
pulling them
They're
and
pulling
everything
them.
else.
Poor guys freezing their behinds out there.
Yeah, Sam, we did fish last night, lobster, and we're going to be talking about that on Tackle Shop Confessions tonight. Danny and I are chatting about it right now. Ron, I think from Mexico, or it just says Ron Mexico has a question for you. He says, has Danny seen years with this much squid anchovy around before, and what did it do for local fishing? There's squid everywhere this year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It can never hurt fishing. Never hurt fishing. Everything eats squid, guys. Everything. So you never know. You just never know. That stuff, especially if it's sitting on some of the outer banks too, those tuna aren't going, they put their noses down, they feed them, and just fatten up all winter. It's amazing. They're not going anywhere, and with this amount of bait, it may just not stop. I mean, you may just get on them, and if you
Probably
get
just
on
had
them,
11 halibut.
you don't know what you're gonna. I mean, it's just good fishing.
Private boater Bob Elliott had a good hit of sea bass and halibut. He made squid and then turned it into some really nice fish. So
You got squid around. The yellows will find them
Yeah.
at one point. So I think it's going to be an exceptional winter time,
do you?
given that type of bait. Yeah.
And spring really is starting to look good, if you ask me, right?
Already, yeah. I don't think some of those bigger fish, the big eyeballs, and I don't think they're going anywhere. They've
Yeah.
been up and down, and now they're not even going that far down the coast. Down the coast. I mean, when I took off in June and we were only, I think it was 150 miles north of Cabo.
Yeah.
And the water was 67. I'm going, oh my God, the water's that cold. We went down, we started picking, we got there late in the afternoon, we started picking a few tails, but just by looking at conditions, I'm going, oh, it was over. They bit already, right? Woke up the next morning, full on. We were done.
Really?
Done on the tails, and then we moved inside a few miles, and we got into those nicer yellowfin, although those yellowfin that you're catching now grew up a little bit, but ours were like the 50 to 70. They were all beautiful fish. Believe me, at that time in early June, it was a hell of a catch. But that stuff is morphed into some of this big stuff now, and I mean just a tremendous mixed volume of bluefin and yellowfin.
Yeah, for
everything
sure.
they're getting. So I don't think I've seen it this good.
There you
And
go,
then the
Ron.
stuff out on the rocks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, excellent fishing.
There's some really cold water around, and there's
Yeah.
some okay water. We had 60-degree water on the
Yeah.
front side of Cat. Now, I talked to a commercial lobster guy. I don't know if he wants me to say who he is, but he probably doesn't care, but I'm not going to say. And he said their lobster fishing is terrible this year because they can't fish the front side, and backsides of islands are normally colder. You know that.
Yeah.
He's got 52-degree water he's trying to fish in
Oh, you're kidding,
at
right now?
Catalina. And he said that is the exact temperature we use to ship the fish or the lobster to China because they become
keep 'em
dormant. They don't crawl, they don't move, they're freezing to death.
Oh my goodness.
And that's what they're fishing in on the backside of Cat. They're not catching. On the other hand, in that 60-degree water where you're headed on Friday, great lobster fishing. Hook netting was great, man.
I can't wait.
I know.
I like the fact that I don't have to pull it. We're going to be in the galley eating fried rice and all the goodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mark's out there, and those guys are going to be freezing their behinds off, right?
Oh, man,
I'll
they're
see.
funny,
That's
too.
right. We'll pop them
You
nice.
should- I'm going to try to get the video up tomorrow. I have
Yeah.
to go to San Diego, but the video is hilarious because Mark's up there pulling, and I look at him, and I have the camera on him. I go, "Are we having fun yet?" And he's just like, looks miserable. He goes, "Oh, I'd much rather be doing this than throwing bait on Tannerbank and saying, 'Oh, look at those bluefin.'"
Yeah, He's done with that, right? You had enough of that, Mark.
He's
Come on.
too funny, man.
Oh, geez.
Carlos G says, "What's going on, my amigos? Love watching you guys fish hard. Don't stop." Thank you, Carlos. Really good to see you. Sam De La Torre's back. And Sam says, "Man, Danny, this squid makes me itch for some wintertime Clemente calico action." You remember those days?
Yeah. That's why. I mean, Clemente was my main deal. You know, we always, unless we couldn't, it was that, weather was that bad, we had to stay at Catalina or something and you know, in the lead, but probably 90% of our trips were Clemente, and they're, you know, got the volume of and the quality of the calicos we had back in those days is ridiculous.
Fishing squid,
Absolutely.
leadhead and squid, didn't matter if it was
almost
live
too
or
easy.
fresh dead.
Yeah,
That fresh dead was better.
Well, we would kill the fresh dead because it stayed on the hook better.
Yeah.
You know, the cartilage would harden up and it wouldn't rip as easily. So yeah,
Back there at China Point,
China Point,
areas like that.
Pyramid. I mean, all that. You know, you didn't have to go too far. You know,
Yeah,
some in the West End. You know, there's so many spots to fish.
there are.
Yeah,
There are.
yeah.
Yeah, Sam, I remember those days too, man. Leadhead and squid, and
Oh God.
just as good as you could possibly want.
Yep.
Big bass and lots of
Yep.
them. What do we got? A lizard fish? All right, let's
look
check
at
it
that.
out. Whoa!
Oh, fumble.
Did it end up in Danny's lap? Show that unusual creature to our
There you
audience
go.
out there, Michael. Yes, show its mouth.
There
Let's
you
put it
go.
right up there to the camera. Will it open? There you go. Look at that, everybody. Hold it right there. Oh, my God. Thank you, Michael. A lizardfish and
Keep
a
getting 'em,
sugar
Mike.
bass
Keep
so
getting 'em.
far. Man, let me tell you, this is good stuff. Jeff Yeomans from the 540 Slingers Club joins us, says, "Good afternoon, Phil and Danny. Going to listen to the show on my drive home from work." Jeff, always good to see you. Thank you for your service. We deeply appreciate that, man. And that guy loves to throw the iron. Such an avid fisherman and such a great person. Really, really a good guy, man.
That is awesome.
Yeah, people think here in Southern California, man, you put your gear away once the fall shows up. Like September shows up, they're missing some of the best fishing of the year, right?
You got to keep this stuff ready to go at any time.
Yeah.
In California, you just don't know. Yeah. You keep it ready to go. And yeah, we fished all year round.
Yeah.
You know, in the old days, we usually put the surface gear away in the fall. You know, and then you went to a rock cut deal. But you know that, you know, it turned around. We had more of our groups that were doing all, you know, nighttime calico fishing, stuff like that. You know, looking for sea bass. And we stayed with more of our surface fishing, you know, most of our groups. So we had very few rock cod trips after a while. And I kind of liked them, you know. It was nothing worse than after painting the boat, getting it all clean, having a 5-pound piece of lead hit the hull. And
Oh, my
take
God.
a chip or something.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
You want to kill the person.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, no. I miss that to a certain extent. But I could live without that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is fun though. I mean, it's a whole different thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but that wintertime, like Sam said, that wintertime bass fishing, I haven't thought about that for years, but now that I'm thinking about how good that used to be, fish
Unbelievable.
heavy line,
Unbelievable.
man.
Yeah.
And did you, when you throw a leadhead and squid and you're fishing bass, do you fish in gear or out of gear?
I'll let it sink
Yeah.
till I feel the perch ticking.
Yep.
Well, the minute I do that, I put it in gear. You hold it. You
Just
know,
let rod
pip,
tip
pip,
bend a
pip,
little bit, and
and
then-
you just wait. When it pulls it down,
You're on.
that's when you
You
swing.
set the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me
Because
too.
if you ever watch a cloud of perch around a bunch of squid, they'll all be picking at it, and all of a sudden here comes a bass, and he just takes it away. Just
Gobbles
takes
it,
away.
right?
So, yeah, that's why you get that peck, and all of a sudden you feel a thump, and it's
Loads
steady,
up. Yep.
and you nail them.
And you're in gear, right?
They're in gear,
Yeah. Yep.
Just start grinding.
That is so much fun, man.
Oh, I miss that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot of our groups. That's what they love to do all winter, and into the spring. You know, it was calico fish. Yeah.
So Mackie was out with us yesterday. You know Mackie, our
Yeah,
camera guy,
yeah,
and a
yeah.
great guy.
Yeah.
And he was saying, in fact, he's talking to you right now. He's talking about the way you're fishing, and he says, "Danny, that is the exact way I kicked Mike's butt yesterday." So poor little Michael Limon and Mackie were having a contest.
Oh, no kidding.
And he said he kicked his butt catching more fish. In fact, Danny, I'm not sure, but there's a rumor that those two had a bet, and whoever lost the bet has to wear a really stupid-looking hat on Tackle Shop Confessions tonight. So Michael, poor little Michael, might be in a hat tonight.
No.
On tap, poor kid, right?
Oh, Mike, yeah.
Damn
That's
it.
why he's
Thank God
fishing so hard
Grandpa's here
now.
to protect him.
Yeah. Oh, Grandpa can wear the hat.
No, I don't think Grandpa's gonna. I don't know what the hat is, man. I can't wait to see it myself tonight. It's gonna be funny, isn't it?
Oh my God, that is.
Hey, if you got a question for Danny, I see a whole bunch of you watching the show tonight. We deeply appreciate it. Over several thousand people watched Danny's show last week. It was great over there on Facebook. We're posting these shows on Facebook and Instagram now, which I absolutely love because it opens us up to a whole new audience.
Oh, that's
I don't know
cool.
why I wasn't doing that a long time ago. You got to find somebody who's a little more up on social media than this old man. But,
Listen,
you know,
you're so far ahead of the old guys like our age.
after
Rad.
3 years, it finally sinks in,
Yeah.
and I figured it out, man. Good stuff. Danny, I've been talking to, just back to that whole squid thing. There's squid at Clemente. There's squid at Catalina. There's squid all over the Channel Islands. There's light boats all over Malibu on the coast.
That's amazing.
There's squid here. There's squid in the Santa Monica Bay. It's that cold water is something that squid seem to thrive in. You know, cold water is not necessarily a bad thing. Everybody
No,
wants to see warm water, so you see Dorado and you see, you know, maybe a wahoo, like we had that one year where we had the wahoo. But cold water's not a bad thing. Kelp grows better
No.
in it, and nutrients seem to do
Yep.
better, right?
Yep. I mean, if it gets cold enough, all those albacore up in Alaska may show up here. You know, who knows?
Oh my God! Are you thinking albacore? Are we predicting albacore?
We've been saying
already?
that for how long now?
I know.
But you know
One
what?
of these years we're going to actually
It's
be
going to
right.
happen. It will happen. It's Mother Nature. It just cycles. You know? But squid, yeah, squid's a good thing.
We might be right one of these years,
Squid's a
actually.
good thing. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you could talk to this knucklehead over here, Dan Lightfoot, who was on that trip last night. Danny's going Friday on the Amigo.
Oh, you're gonna have fun.
Dan's saying he's going to have a really good
well,
time.
all we do is go to eat. You know, I'll make it. Yeah, pretty much it.
Hang out and bowl only with them.
There you go. There you go.
What's wrong with that? I mean, and the backdrop is a beautiful island.
Oh, I know.
We saw a couple of fin whales on the way over that were just hauling
wow.
ass.
They're
They're fast,
awesome.
man, and
Yeah.
those whales are so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
We saw tons of dolphin. You know, I know you and I have both seen that a million times, but it never gets old, does it?
No. I miss all that. That's one part I do miss. You know, it's a trade-off now. We got grandkids. You know.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get them on the lakes. And we're gonna. Hey, maybe I'll call you and we'll film them. But I mean, they just loved it when we had them up in the Sierras this year. You know, for my dad's celebration of life deal up at Convict Lake. Right?
Yes.
And so all the little ones, my sister's kid, you know, everybody's, so the grandkids, you know, they just had a blast. And
Yeah.
so that's part of our traditional deal, you know, the Eastern Sierras. So, yeah, the best place to practice is right here in town during the wintertime.
Yeah.
You know, Santa Ana River Lakes, Anaheim, all these lakes, you know, Irvine, you name it. But when they put the trout in, even the local parks here, they do that. When you get dialed in, and don't toot your nose up at that, because if you could fish these inner city fish with light line, 2-pound stuff, you can go up in the Sierras and wreak havoc, because and I call them the city smart, you know, street smart, and it is generally tougher to catch those fish that are, you know, put in our local lakes here than it is in the Eastern Sierras.
Do you have a theory on that? Why is that, or?
I think the pressure, I
Yeah.
think part of that, you know, but I've fished, it got me to where I fished almost straight 2-pound.
Yeah.
Whether I'm up in the Sierras or down here,
Really?
regardless, I fish straight 2.
Water's not as clean either.
Yeah.
In
it's
the
not-
local lakes? Yeah, the water's
Yeah.
not as clean, Dan,
Yeah,
saying?
but it's weird because you'd think you can get away fishing heavier line. But I think the movement of your baits and everything, it moves better with the light line. Especially if, you know, with fluorocarbon, or you know, a sliding sinker. If you're using floating bait, the light line, it'll float it higher, right? If you have heavier line, it's going to sink it down. There's a lot of little subtleties, you know, that you have to understand, and it's people turn their nose up at the city trout, but let me tell you something. That's where you practice and you get dialed in on that. So when you get up to the Sierras,
You ready to go?
you're ready to go.
Yeah.
It's easy compared to fishing because we always say these city trout are streetwise.
Yeah.
You know, and they're a little tougher, a little cagier, a little tougher to catch.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to turn your nose up, people. it's a good thing. And if you watch some of the fishermen that fish the local lakes, these are some of the sharpest fishing you're going to see anywhere. You know, they have it really dialed in.
Yeah.
So don't turn your nose up at it. You know,
Don't be
keep an
afraid
eye
to
on
walk up
watches.
to one of those guys
Oh,
and
yeah.
ask for some
No,
help,
no.
right?
Or watch. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times you can pick everything up by watching. You know, so that's also a great learning thing. You know, is just watching these local fishermen, because it is a little more difficult, in my opinion, than fishing the fish in the Sierras.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can learn a lot more, a lot quicker.
Yes, 100%. Did you see my grandson, 6 months old, drop shotting? I saw you put a comment up there. I thought, yeah. He's in
Way
Florida.
to go, baby.
Yeah, Patrick's got a rod in his hand already, man.
He'll be fishing those bucket mouths pretty soon.
Pretty
eh?
soon,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, for sure. Calico Chris says hello. Hey, Calico Chris, it's great to see you here with us. No doubt about that. I was showing Dan some photos. Some guy, I can't remember his name. He was on the morning briefing this morning. Nice 14-inch barred perch. 2 of them down there by Anderson Street, right down from my place.
Wow.
Where I did the morning
14
briefing.
inches?
Yeah.
What a slab.
That's a slab, man.
Holy
right?
smokes.
That is a nice one.
That's huge.
Those frickin' things fight good.
Oh, they do. You get them turned sideways in
Yeah.
the surf.
Yeah.
You can't move them.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
those
amazing.
things,
Yeah,
man.
that's amazing.
And so that here we go with the colder water also. I've noticed, man, a ton of life on the beaches here lately. Both dolphin and pelicans hitting the water, and there is obviously a lot of bait. There's something going on this year that's
Yeah.
just,
So the thing you and I are going to do
yeah.
on albacore.
Yeah, maybe if we shut up, something good. Maybe we just come out and
Could
say
be.
they're extinct and you'll never see another one as
And
long
they'll
as
show
they'll
up
be
just
wide
they'll
open.
show up just to spite us. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
That way
exactly.
It'd be worth it.
Isaac is joining us. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen." Isaac,
All right,
always
Isaac.
great to see you here, my friend. Really, really great to have you with us. How many guys are going on your lobster trip? 10?
We got
Or
20.
you got a whole bunch of-
We got a zoo.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody mentioned
It's
that
going to be
me.
a circus.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
be
there's
fun.
going to be a lot of messing around with each other and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's why the rods, it's going to be more, I think, a sword fight anyway.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
why
Yeah, for sure, man. It's going to be fun, I'm sure. Maybe, let's see, you got 20 guys, man. You're going to need how many lobster?
140,
Oh, wow.
right?
You might pull that off. Who knows?
You never know.
With those
Who
guys,
cares?
man.
Yeah,
Those guys are good the
Yeah.
way they fish.
yeah.
Scott Bukert says, Darren Dohe, 310 Rodworks catch big fish for me. Scott used Darren Dohe's 310 Rodworks rod. Darren's probably listening right now. Darren, you know what this is all about. And Scott got a 201-pound bluefin tuna with me behind him pulling hair on his leg during the battle. You know,
That's even better.
and he's trying to kick me while he's fighting a fish.
That's
and trying
even
to,
better.
Yeah, it was great, man. Hey, Scott says, hi, Danny. It's,
All right, that's cool. That's so cool.
That's a good fish, man, right?
Yes, it is.
200.
Way to go, Scott.
You know, we've gotten used to that now, and it's
We've
ridiculous.
taken a lot for granted. I mean,
200-pound bluefin.
You know, a 100-pounder was a hell of a fish.
Yeah.
You know.
Hell, I was happy with a 15, 18-pound bluefin tuna
Yep.
back in the
Amazing.
day,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
Fishing 12-pound on
yeah.
the backside of Clemente or...
Or in here, Redondo Canyon.
yeah,
or whatever. You know,
that
I
was
remember
really
that,
fun,
fishing
man.
10-pound
Yep.
at one time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, man. Those bites in the bay there were so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was fun stuff.
My brother Paul, I remember going down to maybe the Redondo Special or the city of Redondo, and he was 12 or whatever, and he's back there in the stern. The boat pulled up. I went down to meet him, and there he was holding a bluefin. He got his first bluefin, you know, as a
Yep.
kid, and
Yep.
it was just a great
Yeah.
time.
Oh, those are good days.
We used to, on our little commercial boat, we fished Tanner and Cortez, but like on our off days before school, you know, we'd go down and park right off Torrance Beach, and we'd literally just sit there and wait for the bird school to come up. And all of a sudden, just splashing, and it was mixed bluefin and yellowtail. Right off Torrance Beach.
Oh, how do you beat
You
that?
throw an iron in there, and some days you get a big yellow, some days you get a nice bluefin. It was just
Well, you
really
know how close
awesome.
the canyon is by the pier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one right there in red tide.
You did?
You drop below it, and I'm going,
I
are
didn't
you
know that.
serious here? You know, and they did. Sure enough, it was different. It wasn't like fly lining it, but it was definitely said drop it down, get below the red tide, and sure enough.
You're talking about the
yeah.
old Mondstadt Pier and how close the canyon is to it. There was some guys on the end of it. One guy, still remember him. I was 8 years old, and there was a guy named Red, you know, some old guy. Red, don't bug Red or he'll kick your ass, and one of those guys. And he would make such a long cast and wind up a Boccaccio like this. And another species.
Oh, my goodness.
Michael Limon. Check it out. Whoa!
Fumble.
We got fish jumping in the studio now. That's a beautiful, what is that, a yellowfin croaker?
Crawfin.
Is it? Let's see. That is a frigging, I think it is. Check it out, Danny. A spotfin croaker.
Oh, man.
Is
Michael, you the man.
Michael, keep it up, buddy. We're so proud of you. That boy is killing him tonight, Dan.
Heck yeah.
He really is. Scott Buchert said he caught that 200. He's not going to let this go. He caught that 201-pound fish on 50-pound. To which the captain said, "Scott, quit fishing light line. I'm going to kill you."
Well, at that point, here's what the skipper says: you either pull on them or break them off.
Yeah.
And that's what we used to tell them.
You know what? Pat Murray was on the boat. I don't know if you know Pat, but he owned the Phantom back in the day and ran the Phantom. Great guy. Pat, I hope you're watching. And Pat has a saying when he gets on a fish: pop them or stop them. Button down on them and pull hard.
Yeah.
Pop them or,
Yeah, on a big fish, you have to break their will.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yes.
You really
There's
do.
no doubt
otherwise,
about that.
see the line. The line just, see ya.
Yeah, that was a
You
nice
just gotta
fish.
put the screws
Scott, keep those insightful comments coming. Danny and I are totally enjoying them tonight. Isaac wants to know any update on the big meeting in Sacramento last Tuesday. I think it was all proposed, but nothing's passed on a no-take for sand bass and raising the size limit on white sea bass. There's a lot of that talk going on right now, raising the size limit on white sea bass and severely limiting the sand bass. I don't know that anything has been decided yet.
Did they do a census on the sea bass? Is it hurting? Is it hurting or?
Sure doesn't seem like it is, does it?
See, that's the problem I have with. I really do. I have a big
I
problem.
know
with
you
fishing
do.
game over the
Please
years.
opine.
Yes.
Tell
No,
everybody.
That's the problem. There's decisions that they made over the years, and my old mentor, along with Taka, but Russ Iser, was the first one to speak out on all that stuff. And he would just say, "What do you guys know?" And when it came down to it, they didn't know anything. We're on the water all the time. So we understand, especially when you have the knowledge and the time that Russ Iser and, Frankie Hall and all the old guys. But those guys saw so much more. Taka, in no way did we ever see a shortage. And the thing was, we knew not to abuse, the limits. And
Well, you'd
it was
kill your
fine.
business if
Yeah,
you did.
you kill your own,
right?
you kill yourself. Yeah.
Slit your throat.
Yeah. We did get crazy a couple of, like Albacore, there were no limits. But then when you do a no limits Albacore trip, you pay for it when you get home, whether you either your fillet bill or you're up all night cleaning fish
Yes.
to give it away.
Yes.
That ends. Now
Yeah.
you just call guys, come and get it.
Yeah.
Take all the fish you want. Here, take it, and I just take home what I want, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There was a guy on our Independence trip. He's a professional poker player. Super nice guy. Michael's his name. What do you think his processing bill was? He tagged out. Completely tagged out. What do you think? How much do you think his processing bill was? But I'm not going
On
to.
those bigger fish?
There was some big ones. Yeah, he
Well,
had a few big ones.
Had to go into $2,000, right?
Over $3,000.
Oh,
He had 1,490 pounds of fish, or
Yeah,
1,500 pounds of
if I
fish.
ever did that when I got home, Gail would already have the doors, the locks all changed on every door of the house. Are you kidding? You spent that, we're giving it all away? No. And so, what we do too now, Phil, and I think I encourage this to all the friends. Bring an ice chest down to the boat, meet us.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, take whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because I'm only going to use so much and give away so much.
Yep.
And on the quality fish, you really don't want to freeze too much. You could freeze your yellowtail, maybe some of the yellowfin, but the bluefin, stuff like that, you really want to eat them. You really want to eat them fresh. If anything, I'll take one over to Andy, give one for his school, and then we can go over there and go reap the benefits of that.
Yeah,
when he
hey,
has
we
his-
gotta do that
when he
again.
we'll have to do that again.
Yeah.
Get his students when he graduates students. It's a great deal, and it's
I can get.
it's just
I can get a yellowfin tomorrow or something.
Oh,
I'm going down to
God,
the
he
Royal
would love
Star,
that.
and they
He would love that. He's doing
Should I
all that stuff.
bring one to
Well,
him?
you know,
or-
yeah. I mean that.
you
that
just drive up there and give it to him? I'm
yeah.
sure, right?
We'll we'll make a call to him. Make sure he's there.
Yeah.
You know.
We're not doing anything illegal
That'd
here
be
on
great.
tape, are we?
No. No. Heck no.
I plead the fifth. Yeah.
We're donating to school.
Yes, that's a donation. By the way, Tqckle has the tackle store.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, we have a request from a lady angler, accomplished lady angler, Susan Sosa. She said, I am dying for you to go over to Tqckle and interview him. Please let me know when you do it. I would like to be there.
Let's plan on that.
Yeah.
You know, let's plan. I need to go see my mentor. you
Yeah.
know. So blessed being under his
And
tutelage.
I don't know him that well. So
Okay,
I've
great.
met him before,
Great.
but it's
But
been a long time.
He's a character.
Yeah.
And he goes
I
back.
love that.
He goes back to the old school, the Pierpoint days with all the old Herb Curleys and guys like, all the old guys. But he was my mentor, still is my mentor, He, his professionalism, the way he ran the boats. And then we fished together. We bass fished. We did all that stuff together. So it was Sweet's family. you
Yes,
know.
yes.
So, yeah, we got to do that, Phil.
Yeah.
Because he is definitely.
I'll remind you, and then we'll make
have
that
to do
happen.
that for
Give him
sure.
a call tonight or whenever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We do.
And we'll take the
Do it.
podcast to him.
Especially during Christmas, even if we had to tape one out,
We could
Find out,
tape it,
yeah.
or we could even do the Danny Kadota
Yeah.
Show live from his place.
There you go.
You
We'll
know?
talk to him. Talk to see if he's got a Thursday free. That'd be perfect.
Susan, we'll let you know for
Okay,
sure.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
call.
Isaac guessed that his processing bill was going to be $800. Shoot, that's a cheap
That's
one
nothing.
nowadays, man.
Yeah. Woo.
Scott Buchert, okay, this is going to take some translation. Anybody care to translate this? I think he's talking about Mike, the poker player, and he says, he now, I Vagus, now Mike.
Vagoose.
I don't know.
Okay, Scott, you got us.
Yeah, maybe he's drinking. Robert Graber, who's a fantastic human being up there in the 805. Good evening, Phil, Danny, and the Friedman Adventures family. Happy Monday. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Are we going to see you on Friday, Robert? I don't know if you're going to be on the trip, but are we going to see you before the trip or when we get in? Nothing could make me happier than to cheer for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame with you, because I know you're a fan also. Cheer, cheer for old Notre Dame. Okay, no, I know. There's too many SC fans out there who are going to cuss me out here. I don't want to hear that.
Oh, God.
My ears are bleeding.
Well, what are you talking about? You don't like SC. You're a UCLA guy, aren't you?
Hell yeah.
Look who's here, Dean.
Hey, Dean, what's up?
Yeah, show you something.
Oh, Dean.
Oh, he's got something.
We're doing a live show here, Dean, but that's all right.
No, this is part
Show
of it.
Dan over there, and then we can, you can come in and show
Yeah.
whatever. Dean does all the mechanical work on all the boats. Anybody who needs a fantastic mechanic and a bright guy.
At when you saw me at
The Independence.
Andy,
Yeah.
there's what I got back on.
What is that?
That's 96 mile radar.
Oh my God. Can I show our audience?
I guess.
Yeah. 96 mile.
96.
You installed that or what?
Yeah. I put that in right before Thanksgiving.
Dean installed that and 96 miles.
And the targets
They're all
are
the same.
super clear. Huh?
Wow, that is so cool, man.
Wow.
So the Independence now has that on board.
Now it's got two nice radars.
Two nice radars.
Bruno 48 and the 96.
Wow,
Oh, yeah.
that's amazing, man. Love
The
it.
Frunos are nice.
Love it.
I had a 48 Fruno. Yeah.
96 miles. That's amazing,
96
right?
is out there. Holy smokes.
Yeah, but when they're out there in the middle of nowhere, they want to see stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
heck
all they
yeah.
gotta do, as long as your eyes are open, it's good.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a great live show.
Yeah.
Dean,
Sorry
love
to
you.
interrupt.
You're not interrupting. You're adding to the show. Let me tell you.
No.
Making our
That's
show
cool.
better.
Well, 96.
Because I don't know how to fish.
That's okay.
Hey, man, you take care of everything so we can go fishing. That's for sure.
Well, you guys, if I don't see you, have a good Christmas.
Oh, you
Happy
too.
holidays,
You
Dean.
too, Dan.
Same to
you
you.
bet.
Love you, man.
You bet.
Alrighty.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, Tommy Tar says, I'm hearing about 67 degree just south of Cortez Bank. You know anything about that? That seems awfully warm from what I've been hearing around here. I guess it's possible.
I've been completely out of it. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't kept
Yeah, I haven't heard that. It would. I mean, it could
Yeah.
be possible, but seems weird, given that it's 52 degrees on the backside of
You-
Catalina Island right
the
now.
The thing that gets me is we're always concerned with surface temp. You know, when those fish put their nose down and they
Yeah.
go down so deep, it's considerably colder there.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
to have that ability to and look at it like, okay, this is a surface temp. This is what we're looking at. You just don't know.
Yes.
Because some of that stuff bite in the deeper water and it's cold.
Well, that's
much colder.
100% true.
So you just a lot of times it's just, to me, like we were talking about, if the squid's there, they're going to be there.
Yep.
There's no reason for them to swim. The concept was in the old days that they would swim across, go back to Japan, come back, feed there, and then come back. Well, why? you got
plenty of
you're
food
sitting
right
on all,
here.
yeah, exactly. So they have no reason to take their fins and move them when they could just sit there and gobble.
We have translation on Scott now. He's talking about the poker player who had the $3,000 bill. He says he's in Vegas right now, I think. Not Bagus, Vegas. All right, Scott, thank you for that. Keep tuning in and keep these questions coming. Scott, Mackie, Scott, are you coming on our cod trip up there out of Ventura? We sincerely hope so. I don't know if he's coming on Friday or he's coming on the 27th or he's coming on neither. But Scott, inquiring minds want to know. That was Mackie. Calico Chris says, great news. They want to raise the white sea bass size to 39 inches.
That's that's a stretch.
39 inches. That's going to give
From
you
28.
Yeah.
That's
What's a 39-inch white sea bass weigh?
No, that's
do you
got to be
think?
in the 40s, I think.
You
I
think?
I would think, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
if
that's
that-
pretty, yeah.
Wow. That's going to screw everything up.
Yeah, and Lee, this is Fishing Game proposing this?
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Well, you don't want me going off on them again.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
We enjoy it. Right, Dan? Yeah. The audience loves it when you go off on the fishing game. But before you do, there's some really good people there.
there's some really good guys.
I'm just trying to help you out a little bit.
We used to work with them, but then we also, right down at the docks here one day, Phil, right here at 22nd Street one time. And I don't want to make it a gender deal, but there's a gal that came down. She was a new warden. She came down and she stopped there, all my guys behind the Mustang, and we're opening up fillet bags and everything else and laying them on the dirty deck, And one of the guys had a bunch of stuff. He had 10 calicos and why am I drawing a blank? What's the bass?
Sand bass?
Not a sand bass, but it's a bass. Why am I drawing the stinking
Calico
blank?
bass?
No, we
Sand
had pit
bass?
bass.
Spotted bay bass?
No, it's a Johnny bass.
Johnny bass?
As a Johnny bass.
Olive rockfish.
So he had
Yeah.
had a Johnny bass with 10 calicos, and they're all gilled and gutted. And she said, he's over limit. I said, over limit? No, he's got 10 calicos there. No, there's 11 here. I said, that was a Johnny bass. That's not a calico bass.
Yeah.
And she started writing them up. And George Mio, who's right behind me, the new hustler, comes running down
Captain.
and starts yelling and screaming at this gal. Using blankety blank, are you stupid? Blah blah blah. And then to lay your cleaned fish out on our dock right here, right behind the Mustang, right? That was ridiculous. So we had some real run-ins with a lot of them, trying to push their power around and not having the knowledge. So over time, we learned to work with them, proactively go and work with some of the guys at the fishing game, but also have them understand that we know our business, and most of that stuff is stopped on the boat. I mean, we check it. We tell the guys, you look in the sack, we know what they've got limit-wise and everything else, And I said, no, that's a Johnny bass. It's not a calico bass.
Yeah.
And, the argument that ensued was totally, a waste of time. But those kind of things happen, And
Now they're raising, I don't know if they are or not, but they're talking about 39 inches. I do know of another thing that's going on there, and I sent the coordinates up to Daniel on the Island Spirit, but we haven't talked about this yet, but they're trying to establish kelp farming 6 miles off of Ventura. And my question to him was, because I got the coordinates, are these places you fish? I would assume if you're doing kelp farming, you're doing in a rocky area. The kelp has to have something to,
Hold on to.
right?
Yeah.
And so, that would not be good if they shut down the fishing, because they're talking about shutting that area off and doing kelp farming.
Yeah. No, they need to talk about that.
Yeah.
They need to really talk about that. The ecosystem's already,
Does the fish and wildlife now, as they're known, do anything good ever? Do you ever, can you ever, are they whoa, what's that? That is a cool looking perch.
Ooh.
What kind of perch is that?
Buttermouth?
A buttermouth perch. This kid is on fire. Drop that a little lower. Lower? Yeah, perfect. Now we can see it.
All right,
beautiful. Michael!
Keep getting them, bud.
Dude, how many different fish have you caught today? 5, 6 different species?
At least.
Nice.
Huh?
All right, man. As long as
Keep
it's not
going.
another lobster, man. I'm lobster.
Hey,
out.
Mike, get me an albacore, will you?
Yeah, really. That's what we need. Are they a necessary evil? Would we be better off if the Department of Fish and Wildlife were abolished and they weren't?
I
around?
think.
Don't you think it'd get crazy with poaching? and
It
everything?
would. I mean, there's a certain amount of it that we could self-police. I mean, we did it on our boats.
Yeah,
But
skiffs or whatever.
you gotta work with the consumers. You
Yeah.
don't want to turn fishermen off. I mean, we're already paying. Look at our license fees. Look at everything else. The last thing we need is to anger, the people that are paying your wages.
Yeah,
So make it friendly. And I understand cutting limits back. I understand certain stuff.
yeah,
But you better substantiate them. I mean, some of the problems, some of the things that they've instituted in the past were done without really in-depth surveys,
yeah,
and studies. And they're done by a lot of times, and this is where Russ Eisler used to come unglued from, biologists right out of UC Santa Barbara, and not having any time on the water, but doing everything out of a lab.
yeah,
And that's not a good thing. You need that time and experience on the water for that understanding.
yes,
And some of the stuff that I saw firsthand in those hearings with Russ was that they, for the most part, they really did not know a lot
yeah,
about, and especially about our industry. And they got to understand that we as fishermen, for our longevity too, we're proactive with conservation part of it too.
yeah,
Because we want to see it, come back and the species thrive, and it would be good for down the road for our grandkids. So we have a long-term vision too.
yes, absolutely. Scott says he may come fishing on the 27th on the Island Spirit with us. So any of you have a reservation, I would call and cancel right away. Just kidding. That should be a lot of fun. And Isaac reiterates, they're trying to knock off sand bass fishing 39. I'm with you, Danny. The crews do a great job managing limits on the boats.
That's our future. It's our future too. So to annihilate it, it just doesn't make sense. And I think as you get older, you start seeing. I mean, we lived and died by fish counts, so we maxed it whenever we could because our reputations were on it. But then you look at it. Are you going to eat them? You give them away? Well, you're allowed your legal limit. But to do what we did, the massive fish kills that we had years ago,
Yeah.
never again.
Right.
And we were guilty of that too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was.
We were guilty of that too.
100%. Yeah, there was some wasteful things that
Yeah.
I did, and I don't really regret it because I learned from it. I mean, I understand now. And, I was a kid and going out and catching 500, pinback sharks and, I wanted to take them home and show mom and dad and, conquered these mighty sharks. You know how the whole thing is when you're a kid.
Oh yeah, no, we did that. It was,
And that's
it was
stupid.
an ego
but-
deal for us.
Yeah, right.
It's a big
And
ego
you
deal
want
for us.
your loved ones to see what a great fisherman you are, whatever, right? And
Yeah.
so
But at the same time, now we want our grandkids to be able to catch.
That's
them too.
right.
So that's why we, in time we do learn. Hopefully.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. I know, exactly. All right, very good. Dan Smith, who's a fantastic guy. Where's Kim? Dan, I send you both. Danny and I send you both all our very, very best. Super good guy. He says, hello, Phil, Danny, and the Friedman Adventures family. Good stuff
Awesome.
indeed. We're pushing an hour here, and Tony said
Whoa.
you better be out of here at 5 o'clock sharp. We
Oh,
got a
these
few
folks.
more minutes if you want to ask. A
Oh
few
yeah,
more
then you got to head over to go
questions.
see Sammy.
We're going over to
You're
do a
gonna go
live
see
show with
Sammy. There you
Sam.
go.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
my third live show today. Believe it or
Oh
not.
my God.
You know what they say? If you do
You're
too many live shows, you can't grow any hair, and I think they're right, man. Let me tell you. That's after being out at lobster fishing all
Oh
night
my
last
God,
night,
yeah.
man, with this crazy guy.
Oh my God.
Dan Lightfoot last night. Man, every 30 seconds, hey, get out here and film again. What are you doing? Sitting on your butt on the galley in there. I told him to do it, actually.
There you go.
I mean, let me know when they're pulling out there.
So what? You don't have a steak and lobster going tonight?
We had
You already ate.
lobster for lunch.
Oh, you did?
and lunch.
Okay,
And
prime
you
rib.
didn't bring
There
me
you
a
go.
little piece of prime rib, you dirty rat, you.
Hey, what can I say? I didn't make it.
I honestly didn't want it. I'm so over lobster right now.
That's what happens.
I know.
You can get
It's
tired.
rich,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's so
You can
good.
definitely get tired. Once a year for me is about enough.
And man, I'll tell you one thing.
But it's good,
The
yeah.
spiny California lobster as opposed to, or in comparison to.
Way tastier.
Right?
Yeah, the meat's denser. It's just, I just, yeah. Then a Maine, yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
Not
so
even
good.
close. Yeah.
$50 a pound, man. We went home with $700 worth of lobster per person last night.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah, it's awesome.
That's crazy,
It's
right?
awesome, yes. That's what, I'm knocking on wood that we get them and bring the whole family over, split them in half, do some steaks, and here you go, folks.
I think
Merry
you
Christmas.
mentioned the ones I give them, huh?
Yeah. What? Who?
Isaac.
Oh no, Isaac sent me a note and mentioned it. He hasn't mentioned it on this show, but he sent me a personal note and said thank you so much. Oh, he's thanking me. Yeah, I didn't give you any. Dan wants credit. Isaac, thank Dan for the damn lobster, will you? Huh? I don't want him upset over here. Dan Smith says, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Dan Smith says, Kim is at Auntie's house tonight helping her cook for the boys. These two help everybody. They're wonderful,
awesome.
really great people.
That's awesome.
Calico Chris says, and I didn't know this because I've been really busy, but another squid boat capsized last night. Second one in a week, Marina Del Rey.
Wow.
Yeah, I was. Were you aware of that?
No.
We have a name
A
on
big
that
metal,
boat, Chris?
big commercial squid boat?
I guess, did it say light boat? Squid boat. So usually it's a light boat, but
Yeah.
yeah, like Danny's asking, is that the squid boat actually or the light boat? And do we have a name on any of those guys? I'd love to hear that and pray that they were rescued.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Everybody's okay. Matthew Martin. Hey, Matthew. Really great to see you here, my friend. Hey, guys, great show. Phil, what is your favorite memory commercial fishing, Tanner and Cortez? Oh, Matthew, man. I mean, just pure fishing-wise, it would be dropping a 100-hook set line and feeling the feel, man. Just getting rattled. We're dropping 50 hooks on a rod and reel, and my brother and I just like, oh, my God, like, we've actually found the fish. We were so green, didn't know what we were doing. And, all of those things. We had air to sea rescues out there. That was a funny one, man. Yeah, that was good. Gordon Stewart, a guy was faked us out, told us he was having a heart attack, but he was just so seasick that he faked us out. So we had the helicopter come out. I had to drop him on a rig with a helicopter. That was all good. Big, giant Mako sharks. Matthew, man, you get me wound up. I won't stop, man. There's so many great memories when you're commercial fishing.
Those fish out there, Tanner Cortez, when we used to, during the wintertime, we called it Christmas money. Commercial fish.
Yeah.
We started out with 9/0, and the 9/0 got too small. The 10/0 was the gear ratio was better, and fishing a big saber gap line.
Yeah.
But I remember we would drop 25 hooks, and you could barely turn the handle and go, oh no.
Yeah, right.
It was all reds.
Yes.
And they would not float.
Right.
They'd sit heavy the whole time. When you got cows, all of a sudden you put them, all of a sudden it gets real light, and then you got to wind like heck because these things are they're floating.
Yeah.
And bloop, 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 and all these big orange balls out there. Yeah.
And that rattle
Oh yeah.
when you have 25,
Yeah.
50 hooks, something like that. That
Yeah.
rattle.
Unbelievable.
Right?
Yeah.
There's nothing like it, Matthew. Man, thanks for bringing back some great memories.
That's where we made our Christmas money.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
Out of between Tanner and Cortez.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
We
It
used
was
to
really good
buy
fun.
that like Swanson or whatever it was, frozen chicken and put it on the manifold of the engine like for a half hour. then open up, and then, hey, we got hot fried chicken, boys.
Oh, God.
Man, this has got to
Yep.
be bad for
Yeah.
you, but it's so good.
I remember those days.
Thank you, Matthew. Great
Unreal.
question, my friend. Live free, die free afternoon, Phil, Danny, and the Friedman Adventures family. One more stop tomorrow, if weather permits, for rock fishing. The Royal Polaris 8-day trip is awesome. Yellowtail, bluefin, yellowfin. Hey, you're on there right now, man? That is a great update. And I hope you put the wood to the bottom grabbers tomorrow. That's fantastic. Sounds like he's on an 8-day trip. Yeah, he is. I remember he was going to go. And Danny's catching yellows and bluefin and yellowfin. Sounds like he's having a great trip.
Well, the quality of the fish that these guys are getting right now, you know, in these 8-day trips right now, that's phenomenal. Usually right now, these guys are in their long schedules,
Yes.
you know, to get down to get that quality. But it's phenomenal what these guys are getting now. Yeah, that's awesome.
Isaac wants
So
to
cool.
thank you very much for the lobster, Dan. He's begging for your forgiveness, and he thanks you very much for the lobster. He says you chinched him out of. He would like a little bit more next time, but no, he didn't say that. He said thank you. All right, I haven't even tasted mine yet, says Mackie. Mackie hasn't tasted. Mackie, that's a sin. You have to eat these things fresh. That's the
Yeah,
whole
get
point
on
of
it,
this,
Mackie.
right?
Yep.
And Isaac says, thank you, Doug, and the Amigo. Now he's thanking everybody. It sounds like the Academy Awards. I want to thank my parents. And I want to thank my acting coach. And thank you, Doug, and the Amigo crew, and Michael and Mackie, and Danny Kadota, who wasn't even there, but I just want to thank him in case he's mad at me. And yeah, that's it, man. All right, we're good. And Live Free, Die Free is on the Royal Polaris. How cool is that our audience can be on a long-range boat?
Is that unreal? The technology now?
Man,
Holy
I love
smokes.
it. Live free, die
That is
free.
awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
Too much, man. Have some great rock fishing tomorrow. Catch a big ling, my friend. Calico Chris, last week in Ventura and last night out of Marina del Rey, they said the boat turned too sharp and the weight shifted. It was too heavy.
Wow.
Yeah,
They had a load and a half.
I
there.
guess,
A
man.
little too much.
Yeah,
A deck load too?
maybe.
Could be. Wow.
That's why
Can't
they
get
rolled
greedy,
it.
boys.
Yeah,
Can't
right.
get greedy. You got to have some ballast.
Mike Krinkovich. Do we know Mike? He's nicknamed the Cranker by Scott Bucher, and he wants to say hello. Mike's a little bit under the weather, hadn't been feeling 100%. So we ask him to feel better soon, right, Danny?
Absolutely. Get well.
Yeah. You're done fishing, Michael Limon? Yes. Michael's all done.
Go down to the bottom. I know with your luck, you'll get a lobster.
Robert Slager says, Danny, have you ever caught a totoaba? Totoaba.
No,
pardon
I
me.
haven't.
One
I
of those
haven't.
over there in
Yeah,
the
down in the bay of
San Felipe, like, right?
Yeah. No, I mean,
They're like a giant
when we
white
were
sea
younger,
bass, right?
it was they recently opened them up though.
Yeah.
They
Did
reopened it up. I'd like to catch one because they do have them. I think it's just north of Bay of LA, and we've been fortunate to get some nice grouper, a lot of cabria and stuff down that way. But yeah, that would be on my list. That's a good thing. That I'll have to make a trip. They usually fish out of a lot of those were coming out of San Felipe
Yeah.
and through there. Yeah, so it'd be going north a little bit from where we're fishing.
We are approximately 3 minutes away from Tony walking in there and saying, guys,
See ya."
get the hell out of here. So I think we should start
Okay, we'll
thinking
wrap it up
next
pretty soon. Yeah.
Monday show, or when do we do this? Monday. Next Monday show, you'll be talking about your lobster
Oh,
experience.
absolutely.
Yeah, that should be good.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you going to bring in a little lobster for all of us to
Yeah,
have?
we'll see. Hey, I don't want to jinx myself.
Really? You got 20 guys out there. You guys
Yeah.
are going to be arm wrestling
Yeah,
for the lobster.
yeah.
Danny, always great to see you, my
All right.
friend. Michael, do you know how to shut that off now? Yeah. All right, well, hang on.
Oh, my
We're not
God.
quite ready yet, but we're almost ready because, as I say, Tony will say,
Perfect.
get out of here.
Yeah.
Hit that like button, everybody. Danny and I will be back next week. We've got one more question coming in. We don't ever leave a question on the board.
Are we going to have time next week to say Merry Christmas? I guess we will.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, it'd be the 23rd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Why not, right?
So we'll see you.
Michael wants to come down here and catch
Yeah,
some fish right
yeah.
before Christmas Eve.
Got it.
And the other thing is Taka. We got to do that.
We got to make a run out there. He's probably close to you because he's straight up on.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Like
Let's
if
see.
you go straight up beach
Oh, okay.
and then just hang a left on what the heck is the La Palma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We'll have to go see
Maybe you
him
can
for
come
sure.
over and we can
Yeah,
drive
I'll
over
talk to him.
together.
We
and
definitely,
we'll meet.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sniper Gene,
my heads
Danny,
up.
do you fish vertical jigging style? Thoughts on it?
Vertical jigging for for what? When we're fishing the tuna or for
Yeah, I mean, you can do
stuff
that.
like that?
Yeah.
I have.
Uh-huh.
I have. Where it's needed.
Yeah.
There's times when we vertical jig, and we do a lot of yo-yoing down below for the tails and stuff like that when we're down at Lejos and places, places like that. But yeah, whenever it's necessary, we're prepared for it.
Yeah, right on. All right. Isaac says, good night, guys. Go get them, Danny. Good luck on your trip. See you on the next one, Phil and everyone. That's right. Tackle Shop Confessions, 1 hour from today. Danny.
All right.
Good to see you, my friend.
All right.
Michael, we're signing off. Happy holidays,
All right.
everybody.